Ik zei, a couple of times
the good old National Express coach. It's about 2 a.m. in the morning and I'm heading to Luton Airport via Heathrow Airport. It's June the 22nd. There are rail strikes going on all over the place, but I don't need the rail. It may be more comfortable, but trains are notoriously unreliable. I prefer the good old solid National Express. Hi guys, Steady Eddie here, heading to Romania. So it's at this moment in time there's an awful lot of rubbish going on. When I say rubbish, there's at airports, there's train strikes. I don't need the train anywhere, but it means that more people are getting the coach. So this is pretty full at the moment, this coach. Also, as for airports, well, Christ almighty, there's baggage delays, there's staff shortages, there's all kinds of rubbish going on with travel right now. But I'm at Taunton's services right now. Should be at Heathrow Airport at about 5:30, Luton Airport about 7:30, and then we've got about 6 hours to go before I board my flight to Bucharest. Yes, that flight is really great value, terrific value. It's about £36.50 return, plus 26 quid for a reserved seat each way. The coach ticket, to Luton Airport, the return ticket, that's about 70 odd quid, something like that. It's a very, very cheap journey. Now, all of this stuff, this is the difficult bit. Travelling through the night, hanging around the airport for about 6 hours, wondering whether I'm going to check in without a problem. I've got no 20-kilo suitcase, so I think that'll make things a bit easier, really. It will make things a bit easier, and I've already printed out my boarding pass, so I'm hoping to go straight through to departures when I get there. We'll see what happens anyway. As for the flight, it's with Wizz Air, a Hungarian airline. Yeah, with Wizz Air, very, very cheap flight. I've got my paid extra to have my seat reserved. And at 3¼ hours from Luton to Bucharest. The last flight I'd done was 13 hours from Bangkok to Gatwick. So after a 13-hour flight, a 3¼ that's a quarter of the time. Should be a doddle, okay? Let's just get it on. This is the worst bit here. Hopefully, in about 12 hours' time, I'll be on board that flight to Bucharest. Taunton Services. What an ungodly place to be at an ungodly time of night. Oh, well, this is fun, isn't it? We've had to change coaches. Had to divert to Bristol, which is out of the way of the journey, and change coaches because the other coaches having battery issues. I was having a nice sleep there when the driver made the announcement. Right now, this is well behind time, and I've got to get to Heathrow and then change coaches to get to Luton Airport. I'm told they're going to do the best they can. It's a good job got plenty of time. I don't know what's happened. All I know is I'm on a different coach, and it's going to be late to get into Heathrow. I can do without this. Okay, so that was something that I didn't expect. The coach diverted to Bristol and added about another 45 minutes onto the journey. But nevertheless, I'm here at Heathrow Airport now. It's a crispy morning. It's about 6:30, and in 10 minutes' time I'll be getting my bus to Luton. So all's well that ends well. Like you say, that was an interrupted journey. I can deal without that. Hopefully there's no delays or setbacks. When I eventually get on that aeroplane, really don't need it. So just to show you what I'm taking on board, there is no checked-in baggage because at this moment in time, There's baggage delays at airports all over the place, short-staffed, you know, all kinds of problems at airports. So I'm just taking a carry-on baggage. That one there is in line with in the airport, the size and the dimensions. It's small, but I have managed to get a fair bit of stuff in there. Also taking this little thing. This is my camera and documents and that sort of stuff. And something else that's worth taking with you, a plastic bag there. I've got a bottle of, a plastic bottle of water in there. Now, obviously, you can't take that on board, the bottle of water, but you can empty the water and still take the bottle on board. You see what I mean? Now, that's worth doing that, to take an empty water bottle through, through the departures. Because when you get to the other side, of course, if you want to buy water in the departure lounge or anywhere, it's going to cost you money, isn't it? So you can usually fill it up on the other side. And also that plastic bag serves another purpose as well, in case you throw up on the bus. Okay, so that's my carry-on luggage for this journey. There we go, Luton Airport. I've arrived at Luton Airport early, on time as far as the coach is concerned, but my flight doesn't leave for about another almost 6 hours, so I've got plenty of time to potter around this place. Isn't it strange how you remember little things from donkeys years ago? I actually remember when I first heard the words Luton Airport. I believe it was the 1970s in a TV commercial. Was it for Campari or something like that? Lorraine Chase, her name was the Cockney girl. What was the this snooty guy was pouring at a Campari, and didn't he say to her something like, "Did you waft air from paradise?" And she said, "No, Luton Airport." Famous TV commercial. I think you can still get it on YouTube even to this day. But that was the very, very first time I heard of Luton Airport. And anyway, all these years later, I've finally made it. Well, I've come in here half expecting a bit of pandemonium. Right now the news is full of queues at airports, flight cancellations, massive backlogs of baggage, people not getting their suitcases. It's absolutely horrendous, but it looks fairly reasonable to me. I don't know in terms of scale how Luton Airport ranks with other airports. Obviously it isn't the size of Heathrow or anything like that. But anyway, I'm here anyway. Looks like plenty going on. There's Burger King and all kinds of things. The departure lounge is over that way. So I've got no checked-in baggage. I've got my boarding pass. I'm expecting to breeze through this. In fact, if I can breeze through security, to the departure lounge fairly briefly, I'm going to have many hours. I don't know, well, at least I'll be in the departure lounge. Okay, so I'm in the departure lounge of Luton Airport. It's about 5.5 hours before my flight leaves. But it looks like it's all on schedule. They weren't going to let me come through departures to begin with when I told them when my flight was. But I thought I either hang around there or I hang around there. It's a long time anyway, but at least I'm here now anyway. The lady suggested, come back 3 hours before your flight leaves. I thought, yeah, but there could well be queues then, and I don't want any queues. You know, I mean, there's nobody there then. So anyway, I'm here. I'm in the departure lounge. I've got time to kill. My flight's looking okay anyway. It hasn't been announced just yet, of course. But I think it'll be before long. It'll be time for a nice, a nice full English breakfast. Wow, this is no small airport. There's a lot to Luton Airport, it really is. You know, I thought it was going to be the size of Exeter or Bristol perhaps, something like that, but no, this is a big airport. There's quite a lot to it, loads of shops and all that kind of stuff. And I was tempted when I first entered the departure lounge to head for the first pub there and have an all English breakfast and maybe a beer. But no, lots to this place, so I wander around for a Now, that wasn't a bad breakfast. When I say it wasn't a bad breakfast, I mean it wasn't bad. I mean, it's not exactly a rocket to the moon, but it wasn't bad. It was tasty. It went down well. What annoyed me is that the price for that full English breakfast was £12.25. Yes, which is expensive. But the guy who served me was really quite a friendly guy, but I didn't give him a tip. And the reason I didn't give him a tip is because he'd done something which I'm never very keen on. He said, would you like toast with that? I said, yeah, as I thought toast as opposed to, plain bread. Yeah, toast with that. Not realising that's another £3.25 extra. So the total for that breakfast was...
Ryanair departure to Murcia, flight number 3452, final call. Now closing at gate 6.
Okay, so the total price for that breakfast was £15.50 or £15.70. It was something that was expensive anyway. So, the thing is that if you're going to charge extra, then at least tell people rather than just say, do you want this, and then not telling them that, you're going to be charged extra for it. I know some people would have screamed blue murder about that. As for the beer, £6.75 a pint of Peroni, that's quite expensive. So that whole meal cost me almost bloody 30 quid for 2 pints and a full English breakfast. But, it's airports. Airports are not cheap, they're expensive, and, you just got to go with the flow, haven't you? Anyway, I've still got a few hours to go before my flight. So I've had a breakfast, a couple of pints, and I think I'll just go to sleep for a couple of hours. Hopefully I'll wake up in time to catch my flight. Okay, so far so good. Now the Wizz Air flight to Bucharest has been delayed by about 20 minutes, which is, that's That's not too bad. A nice little sleep in the chair. That's quite a busy airport, that is. A lot of people around today, and I haven't had one single hiccup, really, not one single hiccup. I breezed through security without a problem, dead easy, so yeah, it's okay. It's going well now anyway. Should be on that should be on that flight pretty soon. It's all moving swiftly. There's a lot of people getting on this flight. It seems to be full up, and I think they're quite strict about the, you know, the baggage. I mean, you know, a young lady's being told she's got to pay for her suitcase, which didn't look very big, but you know, she's got to go and pay 33 quid for it. I mean, I've managed to squeeze my little bag into my bigger bag, so it should be still, you know, should be still well within the rules anyway. But you know, it's even so, it pays to check. You know, you see people with oversized carry-on bags, and you know, I wouldn't chance it with an airline like this. Okay, so I'm boarding Wizz Air flight to Bucharest. It all seems to be going good. It's a good job I chose the right carry-on bag, because they look like they were very, very attentive at that sort of stuff. I don't have any problems. So 3¼ hours, that's a doddle. The last flight was 13 hours, so no, this is a walk in the park, okay? Pretty soon pretty soon I'll be in Bucharest, okay? Can't wait. Jesus, imagine having to travel with all of that. I wouldn't like it. Okay, well, that flight was very, very cramped, and it was almost entirely full of Romanian people, families, you know, babies, and you know, that sort of stuff. But it seemed nice enough, you know, they didn't have horns on their head or anything like that. And now I'm on a very, very cramped bus heading to the airport terminal, and that flight actually went very, very well. Very basic, but then what would you expect for £36.50 in return? I mean, come on, that's not too bad, is it? I slept through most of it, but there was an hour delay. It was about an hour before I actually left the runway. This apparently was owing to, you know, airspace around the Czech Republic or whatever. You know, I thought it was better, you know, stay there rather than crash. So yeah, I slept through most of the flight. An hour delay and then a 3¼ hour flight. I still think that's a doddle, that really. Now just arrived at Romania airport, and it's about an hour behind time. Hopefully I'll be in a nice little comfortable hotel pretty soon. Okay, so that all really went well. I breezed through, you know, immigration without a problem. They did stamp my passport, so, well, don't forget Romania is in the European Union, and we're not. Okay, but it was easy to get through, even though there was a lot of people. They were almost all Romanian, so they went to another queue, and I went to the queue that had next to no one in it. So, yeah, got through without a problem. No baggage to collect or nothing like that. And as for currency, I now have Romanian lei. I think it's also referred to as RON, I think. Well, yeah, you know, I'm going to call it lei anyway, because I think that's the proper name. No, I got about 100 quid's worth out of a exchange booth here. Now, I know at airports you don't get you don't get a good exchange rate. I think there's about 5.75 lei to the pound, and they were doing 5 lei to the pound. I just got 100 quid's worth, you know, because I hadn't seen the currency before, and I wanted to make sure that I was okay. And then in the departure lounge here, I got a bit more out of an ATM anyway, because I think if you're going to use ATMs in a strange country, I always think airport ones are more safer to use. I don't know the script at this place before. You know, I've never been to Romania before, but here I am in Bucharest. It's evening time. I have plenty of Romanian lei in my wallet, and I've got to get to the hotel now. I don't know how far the hotel is, but what I do know is that taxis are notoriously, notoriously notorious, so I better be careful. Okay, here I am outside Bucharest airport. Time to brave the taxi mafia. Wish me luck. Okay, so I'm in a taxi and I'm heading to the hotel, which is about a mile away from the city centre. Already a bit of controversy. He's running a meter anyway, but he's got a right to make a living anyway. He's got a right to make a living. I'm not going to get stressed out. Start, isn't it? It's about 9:30 in the evening. The reception's closed, and I've managed to get through to them on the phone. She's telling me to just give me a code to open the door of this little ground floor apartment here. But it doesn't work. The code she's given me to tell me to press the bloody door. She's telling me to press the door here. It's one of those things on the wall, and there's nobody around. Oh my God, I can do without this. She keeps telling me to press this code and press the white button. There is no white button. There's a catch on the top, but it's just not working. It just doesn't work, and I'm here like a bloody lemon right now. Oh Christ Almighty, this is fun. Apparently the key is inside there. I like a reception where the people are actually there. They're actually there. To give you a hand. I've made numerous attempts at the code on this door here, and it's just not happening. It's just not happening. No one's around. I'm left standing there like a bloody lemon. As for that taxi, well, before I got in, someone told me that's not a good price, but he metered it, and it went about, in British money, it went about 20 quid. It was a fair distance from the airport to here, about 20 quid. Oh, I was quite happy to pay that, fairly reasonably enough anyway. But what I'm not happy about is the fact that I'm standing in front of my so-called apartment here. There's no one around, and the woman on the phone keeps giving me a code that doesn't seem to work. Well, welcome to Romania. Oh well, what a palaver that was. A friendly neighbour, helped me in. They must all have the same code. So I'm in here now. There's no reception. It's probably about 10 o'clock by now. Well, so this is the room I'm staying in. Well, they've got coffee making facilities in a kettle. That's always a good start. Got a nice comfy looking bed. Yes. They've got a whopping bloody big TV there. Whopping big TV. Never seen that big in a hotel before. They've got a fridge. Doesn't appear to be any water with it or anything. Nice little chair there. And a bathroom. There you go, this is the bathroom. Nice shower there. Nice and spacious, everything looks nice and clean. So I'm here. Well, I must admit, I'm not keen on hotels, these little apartments that are unattended. I like a reception. I like people to be there when I arrive, no matter what time of day it is. I can deal without that, a little frustrating moment like that, unable to get in. But anyway, I'm here now anyway. This looks like a nice little apartment. I think it's about 30 quid a night, this, in English money, which is very, very, very reasonable. I'm quite pleased about that. So, it's been a long day, obviously. Started off in the southwest of England. I'm now in Bucharest. It's about 10 o'clock in the evening. There's a main road outside, and I can see some lights on, further down the road. So I assume it'll be easy to get a late night meal and get a few groceries and whatever. There's not even any water there, funnily enough. They don't even supply water. But never mind. From the southwest of England to Bucharest. Okay, I'm here now. Thanks for watching. I've got another 4 weeks. 4 weeks let loose in Romania to make something of it, okay? A place I've never been before. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Cheers. I've been told by the kind fella who helped me open the door that there's a supermarket just 5 minutes walk away from the hotel. So I'm here now. I'm doing my first shop in a Romanian supermarket. I've got, let me show you what I've got. I've got fruit. This is all breakfast stuff. Fruit and water. And what I'll be looking for now is beer, okay? Get a nice few beers for the room, okay? My first shop in a Romanian supermarket. How about that? Okay, so the whole of that shop in a Romanian supermarket, which is open till midnight. A 6-pack of Heineken, yes, 50cl. Numerous 3-in-1 coffees. A bag of Lay's. Chocolate cranberry bickies. These kind of things will be ideal for breakfast. Another bag of Lay's. Nice strawberries. Nice oranges. Nice yogurty mixy thing, and a large water. There you go. That's my shop, and the total of that came to about £15 in English money, which is probably about $20 US, something like that. Anyway, close enough to it. There you go. I always like the feel of that. Only been here 5 minutes and I'm shopping in the local supermarket. Makes me feel like a local.